Guys, today's Sunday and it's been raining here since yesterday, and I was thinking, since I'm in the house, it's a perfect opportunity for me to share with you guys some hacks that I've come up with. So to give you a little bit of a backstory, I am a new renter. Originally I moved from my mom's house to another house, and I lived there for about 10 years, and so I recently moved out of state, and so I'm now a brand new renter. All of this is new to me. Some of the challenges, the rules, regulations, some of you guys know what I'm talking about. And in having been faced with this, I've had to come up with some creative ways of personalizing a space. So if you're interested in what I came up with, then just keep watching. All right, so one of the first things I did after moving in was I decided to change or switch up this lighting. This fixture came with I'll just show you the globe it came with. So when I moved in, this was the setup. It didn't have, of course, this one. It came with that one, and I just don't like it. It's just not very appealing, and I could do better, right? So I went on Amazon and I came across this one, and this one cost about 30 to 40 bucks on Amazon. And so I got that one, and it came with a flush mount kit. As you can see, this is kind of like a chandelier, mounted, and I wasn't sure if I could even switch that out. I didn't know if they would give me approval or if I would have to hire an electrician. And so I'm about the shortcuts. So what I did was I got the flush mount kit from Amazon, and I just used the globe and this hardware here that came with it. So the hardware that came with the original one, I removed that, got the globe down, and I just put this one up and screwed it in. And it just makes such a difference in this room. It's so pretty when it's lit up, and it just... All right, so another way to enhance your space with lighting is using under cabinet lights. So I don't know if you can see those little white dots under each cabinet, but those are under cabinet lights. And I picked them up from Home Depot around Christmas time. It came in maybe a pack of 10 lights or so for like 15 bucks. Came with the remote. Show you that. So this is the remote it came with, and you see the timers on there. It's not really focusing all that well, but there's different timers, and there's also different colors you can use. So those are just the white lights, and it's green, red, and blue. So you can switch it up and have a little fun with it, but I mostly use it for white. I did also put some on top of my cabinets as well, because I had the extra lights and I just honestly didn't know what to do with them. So this is what it looks like when the lights are off. I do have my living room light on, so it's not totally dark in the space, but that's what it looks like. It just creates a nice ambiance. It's nice to have on at nighttime, and it looks nice. Let me show you the top. So this is above my cabinet here, and that also creates just a nice look. It almost looks, especially at the top, like they were actually installed by maybe professionals. So, and I did all of that for 10 bucks, and then it's at the top I just threw lights up there. They're not adhered to the cabinet. The under cabinet lights are adhered with, it came with like the 3M tape. So all I have to do is move it, take it off when I'm ready to move, and that's that. So really quickly, I just wanted to show you all my stove top in case you were wondering what is on top of the stove. Well, moving here, I found out that the appliances are electric, including the stove. And where I come from, I had a gas range, and so I just could not stand the sight of the electric stovetop. It's just unsightly to me personally. And so when I was at Home Depot, I came across these tiles that I really was looking for the tiles for something else, but I thought about it, and I thought it was a great idea to put them on top of here. So I know you guys know what electric stovetop looks like, but that is hideous. I'm sorry. And so I can't stand to look at it. So when I'm not cooking, not using the stove, this is what is on there on a day-to-day basis. And they are heavy, but I'm just careful when I take them off and put them on, and I like the way it looks overall. This area was originally advertised on the apartment tour as a desk area. This is my pantry right here, and it had a chair right here, so you guys can imagine I would never be able to get into my pantry had I set it up that way. So I love coffee. I'm an avid coffee drinker, and I had a coffee bar or a coffee station at my house before I moved, and I really wanted to continue that here. And so I repurposed this space for my coffee station. So there's my coffee pod. I did have to go out and get the mug holder because the one I had was mounted to the wall. And as you guys know, I'm renting, so I can't mount, mug holders on the wall and that. So I did find that on Amazon. I paid about $16 for that mug holder there. And so I just kind of went to go ahead and just decorate the entire space. This was meant to be a bookshelf. It is a bookshelf, but of course there are no books here. I'm just really using it for decor. So I'll get a little bit closer. On the second shelf is where I keep my coffee straws, and I use Truvia, peppermint if we're making mochas, and some apple cider back there. This is actually a wallflower plug-in, but I honestly don't have anywhere to put it, but I still like what it says. So I just park it there. And then on top is just some plants from IKEA, and then all the way at the top, that's just I don't know, some kind of decor piece I found at TJ Maxx for about 20 bucks that I liked, and it goes nice in that space. So this is the repurposed desk bookcase area. I do like that it's built in, but I just didn't see the practicality of using this area for a desk. These are the Alex 5 drawers. I know everybody and their mama have these, but I had a desk before moving here, and I had these 2 drawers on the sides. Well, I don't have the space for a desk, but I do need the space that the drawers provide, so they slid right on under there, and so it was a great way to repurpose that as well. And overall, I love this little station. It looks even better than the one I had at my house. I'll see if I can find a picture of what I had before or something like it, and if I do, I'll just kind of post it or whatever. But just wanted to show you guys, this is how I repurposed this area to customize it to my liking and my everyday use. So here I want to show you guys how I use vertical space in my apartment. My closet here is much bigger, well, not much bigger, but bigger than my home that I moved from. It was like a starter home, and the closets were the old school standard one rod, kind of short closet. And so this one is like I don't call it a walk-in, I call it like a step in, because that's pretty much all you could do is step in and step out, but it's bigger overall. So I still was spatially challenged because I went from a 3-bedroom space to a 2-bedroom space. And so I used some other closets in my home before for my clothes, and I just don't have the space here. So one thing I did was use vertical space. So I just want to show you guys how I did that in my closet. So this is a chest that I had with my old bedroom set. I did bring this with me, so it houses a lot of my clothes that I fold up. On top is just some perfume in my jewelry box. I do want to show you guys though the tile. So this is a tile I specifically went to Home Depot for. My perfume is on a spice rack. It's a clear one. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's 2 spice racks. And it would always topple over because there's a gap here and in the back. So it would always topple over back there in the back. And so you guys, when this would topple over, everything would just, it was a disaster. And the second time it happened, I was like, okay, I got to come up with something. So I bought a tile big enough to cover the space of the spice racks. And so this is the one I found. It's kind of marble. It's basically the same one that's in my kitchen, and these tiles were about $3 or $4 each. So I put some felt feet on the bottom, and I just put it on here. Now these racks don't move at all. I don't have to worry about anything toppling over because these tiles are pretty heavy. And so that's another like hack, so to speak, is that I store my perfumes on a tiered spice rack because I can just go and reach and get what I want and put it back, and it helps me keep myself much better organized. So anyway, what I really want to get into is the vertical space. So the closet is this is it, you guys. It's really not that big. There's a door. Here's a door frame. And this is my closet. And so because I have this chest here, I don't have this hanging space right here. So I have a ton of shoes, as many ladies do, and I did purge. I actually purged twice when I moved, and I still have a few extra shoes that I have to find space for. But this is a cube organizer that I had and was using differently at my previous home, but it fit right on top of here, and I was worried about the weight, but it has held up beautifully, and I believe that's because these racks are drilled into the studs versus just the drywall. Otherwise, it probably wouldn't hold. So I have my shoes, and in these bins, I have like sandals, flats, and then I think I have like sneaker type shoes in the third one. And so basically, all of those type of shoes fit. In there, I have some heels that I wear sometimes, and then the ones that I wear the least often are all the way at the top. I mean, that's the ceiling, and that's the light. So I have used all of that space, which has saved me a great deal because I just don't have as much space overall as I had in my previous place. And then here too, I have quite a bit of handbags, and so I have them in totes there. And so these are ones that I use probably a little bit more often, and the other ones are stowed away in the totes. I've had to kind of roll my sweaters back there, and then this is pretty much all the hanging space I have. In my front closet, I hang some of my dresses, and there's some other dresses. And then, you guys, I'm still trying to come up with a way to stow these shoes. I'm probably gonna have to buy some kind of organization shoe rack kind of thing, and I have boots all the way in the back there. But yeah, this has saved me a great deal, and I love it. It's holding up well, and it's just a great way to use the vertical space. Let's talk about window treatments. So, of course, you guys know I'm in this apartment, and I don't want to drill holes into the wall for the sake of putting up a window treatment. I thought they would have already kind of came with mounts in that, but they did not. So I'm challenged with trying to hang up these curtains. I went on Pinterest, I went and I looked and looked and looked, and what I came up with is using command hooks to hang them up. I learned a lot upon doing this because the drapes can tend to be heavy, and so you're really challenged with getting a good command hook that's really gonna hold and stay up there and look nice, right? Okay, so the ones I end up getting, I'll show you here, are these ones. This is the one that's actually on the wall. I have three of them up there. So these are the ones I have. It's 7.5 pounds each. And that's how it looks. Now, and I don't know why, but I bought these black ones, right? So the first thing I had to do was I spray painted them white. So I have three up there. I'll see if I can't get around to show you. There's one. So I spray painted them all white. I had to get a small rod. I couldn't get anything big or bulky because the distance from the wall to the hook is quite narrow, so I couldn't get like those big end decorative balls or whatever. So it had to be something kind of streamlined. So I think this rod I want to say is like half an inch thick, maybe 3/4 of an inch thick. And then I also had to consider the fact that I have these grommet curtains, and they're not rod pockets. Rod pockets are a little lighter than the grommets. The grommet is metal, and so it creates more weight. But I put these up maybe a month or so ago, and they are holding strong. So it's three command hooks, one on each end and one here in the middle. You can't see it because I tried to set it up so that it's covered because the command hooks aren't the most beautiful thing, right? I got 96-inch drapes, and so they go all the way to the floor here. And I did get lighter weight ones. So the white ones are sheer, like a sheer linen, and then the teal ones or aqua colored they're a little thicker, but they're not really heavy at all. And it works out. I think it looks really good in the room. Covers up those hideous blinds. I still have to come up with something for this area here, but I think this is a win. This is definitely a hack that was successful. Let me show you something that wasn't so successful. Here we are in my daughter's room, and I promise not to pan anywhere but this window. So I did attempt to hang drapes here with the command strips. Now, For some reason, I don't know, but I use smaller command hooks. These are the metal ones, and they're very pretty. They're like a brushed nickel, and I want to say they hold 5 pounds each. Her rod, this is the second rod I bought. The first one came down. And that rod, the first one I bought, it was about the same size. The first rod I got from Walmart, I got this rod from Ross. So I had hung up the same way, except I used different command hooks. And within, I don't know, 24 hours, that thing was on the floor. I mean, the rod had bent and everything. So even though I have lighter drapes, you still have to be careful because I don't really have a whole lot to anchor them. So I learned a hard lesson that I ruined a rod. And so what I'm probably going to do is have to switch out these 3 command hooks into the ones that I have in my living room, because these just aren't going to hold the weight. Now, they have been holding up the rod just fine, but of course we know that the drapes are the weighty part. So I'm gonna probably have to switch those out into the same ones I have so that she can have drapes in her room. Or I was even considering not using as many drapes. I have 4 panels in my living room, and she was okay with 2. But we'll see. And so, maybe I'll come back and show you, the end result of this one. This is another instance where I use command strips to hang artwork. I plan on using command strips to hang all of my artwork. The only thing I know for a fact I cannot use the command strips to hang are mirrors. So yeah, I'm gonna have to put some holes in the wall for that, but I'm okay with that. It is what it is. So this piece is on the wall with command strips. I'll show you how I did it. All right, so the first thing I did was, seems so blurry. That's better. So the first thing I did was measure this wall here. Honestly, it didn't come out evenly because I didn't take into account this part, but we'll talk about that in a second. So I first measured this spot out, and then I definitely had to use a leveler. This is the one I used, one from Dollar Tree. So I had to use a leveler to mount those command strips up there, those ones. I had never used those before, but they work well. And they're for holding canvas art on the wall. So I have 2 there. And then for added support, I added a Velcro command strip. So I measured it out, and then all I had to do was I put the first thing I did was I had the strip originally on here, both parts, and then I hooked the canvas onto those hooks. They have little teeth at the very top there to kind of hold it. And for added support, I put the strip here and then pressed it in once I got it level. So you do have to, it takes a little bit of work because you have to make sure that the frame is, straight up and straight across. But overall, this has been holding up well. I just wanted to kind of show you how I went about it. I always measure twice, always, but one mistake that I made was that I planned on them hooking right here when, of course, this is here. So now the command hooks are here and here. And so it's a little bit off center, but not enough for me to change it right now. So I'm good with it. And overall, I got to hang a beautiful piece without putting any holes in the wall. So I'm overall satisfied with that. And if you guys have any, are wondering where I got the piece from, I got it from Burlington, and it was, gosh, I think it was $39.99. All right. All right, guys. Well, that concludes this video. I hope you liked it. Really, these hacks are just ways to customize your space. Don't just have to be for us renters. I just think that, we especially can benefit from them so that we don't damage the property or, break any rules. So again, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.